She says, acknowledged her privilege as a white person in a league built on the contributions of black players.
Have you heard Caitlin Clark's comments on white privilege? It's sparking major debates in the basketball community, with people taking strong positions. Patrick Bet-David is heated, claiming Clark fell for the narrative, while others are applauding her honesty. We're digging into this controversy to get to the heart of what's really happening.
That's how they roll. That WNBA is woke as shit. The NBA is woke as shit. And they had to tell her, you better change your thing or we're not going to get behind you 100%.
Caitlin Clark has been dominating this season, breaking records and making history. She scored the most points ever in NCAA Division I and had insane assist numbers in the WNBA, earning her the title of Athlete of the Year. No surprise there. But then, Clark shared something that really caught everyone off guard. In a recent interview, she opened up about white privilege and how it has influenced her success, giving a heartfelt tribute to the black players who paved the way for her. Let's listen to her full message.
She said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of these players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league is kind of built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think that's important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing.
The internet went wild after Caitlin Clark's comments. Some fans praised her for bravely addressing a tough topic, while others criticized her, claiming she's pushing an agenda. Even fellow players are sharing their opinions, with views all over the spectrum. Then, another basketball superstar, A'ja Wilson, dropped a bombshell. She suggested that Clark's popularity isn't just about her skill, it's also about race.
Told the Associated Press she thought Clark's race was a huge contributor to her popularity. It doesn't matter what we all do as black women, we're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is.
Wilson didn't hold back, stating that black women are constantly overlooked, no matter their achievements. Now, everyone's wondering how this will impact Caitlin Clark. Will it boost her popularity, or will she lose fans? And what about her sponsors? The basketball world is on edge, eagerly waiting to see what happens next.
And that quote, you guys, is the one that has been just all over social media. Everyone's chiming in. There are so many people that are saying, it's too little too late. She should have said all of this stuff 2 years ago. There are people saying that she shouldn't have said this stuff at all. Why is she not contributing her success to hard work? Why is she contributing it to her skin color? It's exhausting at this point.
This situation has evolved beyond Caitlin Clark, sparking a larger debate on race and privilege in women's basketball, with people questioning who truly gets the spotlight. Let's take a look at some expert opinions. They're definitely making waves. Patrick Bet-David, a successful entrepreneur with a popular business podcast, recently weighed in on the drama surrounding Caitlin Clark. As a non-traditional sports commentator, his views carry weight, and people listen when he speaks. Before diving into Clark's situation, Bet-David and his co-host discussed A'ja Wilson's comments on the podcast. Bet-David was harsh, calling the WNBA a zombie company that's losing money. He pointed out that the league was expected to lose $50 million this year, but only lost $40 million, sarcastically thanking Clark for that.
She didn't win. Is she a good player? Sure. The WNBA is a zombie company that loses money year in and year out. I actually have good news.
What?
They were projected to lose $50 million this year. But because of Caitlin Clark and all her great success, they only lost $40 million this year.
Hey.
Amazing. Great job, Caitlin. Thank you. So there it is. They lost $40 million. Name me a company that continually loses money. Let's give her a trophy because we only lost $10 million less than we expected. It's an absolute joke. It's absolutely absurd.
This was a direct jab at A'ja Wilson, implying that the league has been struggling for months, and suggesting that framing Clark's success as white privilege is absurd. They took it a step further by addressing Clark's comments on white privilege, bringing up examples like Serena Williams in tennis and Simone Biles in gymnastics, both black women excelling in sports once dominated by white athletes. It makes you wonder, if white privilege is the focus, why isn't it called black privilege? They're not buying into the white privilege narrative at all. Bet David went on to suggest that if Caitlin Clark truly wants to support the WNBA with kindness, she should consider sharing her salary.
The whole notion that she's just been given white privilege, really? Okay, tell that to the greatest black female athletes of all time. Tell that to Serena Williams, the greatest female tennis player of all time. Tell that to FloJo or Jackie Joyner-Kersee, the greatest track and field athletes of all time. Tell that to Lisa Leslie or Diana Taurasi, the WNBA greatest players of all time. Tell that to the greatest gymnast of all time, Simone Biles. It's absolute ridiculous, and she fell for it. She fell for the DEI LGBT thing rather than MEI.
Now, everyone's left questioning whether Bet David's perspective holds any weight or if he's completely off track. His opinion on the matter is certainly stirring up controversy, and you'll be stunned when you hear what his co-host had to say. It's truly eye-opening. Remember when Clark brought up her white privilege? Well, Bet David couldn't disagree more. He firmly believes that Clark's success isn't about privilege at all, but rather the result of sheer hard work, countless hours in the gym, sacrifices, sweat, and dedication. According to him, that's what truly made the difference.
She deserved where she was at because she was a good player. But I have one suggestion for you, Caitlin. You're making, I think, I don't know what.
Sponsors are ridiculous.
She makes, I don't know, maybe 150 grand, 250 grand. She makes 24 million, 28 million from her Nike deal.
Yeah.
Go donate that to the rest of your homegirls out there.
Yeah.
That if you actually want to change the narrative, go donate all your money, Caitlin.
Take a look at the WNBA. It's packed with incredible athletes from diverse backgrounds. Players like Aja Wilson, Brittany Griner, and Elena Del Don are all at the peak of their careers, each bringing something unique to the table. So if race isn't the factor, why did Clark say what she did? The co-host has a pretty intriguing theory. He believes there's more happening behind the scenes than most of us realize.
You know what, Caitlin? You didn't make it to the WNBA because of the color of your skin. You played because you worked your ass off. Hours in the gym, sweat, sacrifice, and everything. It's not some imaginary head start that you got, okay? Let's be honest with each other. If this was a white privilege was a thing, every broke-ass white person in middle America would be dunking on all of us.
Did you catch that he thinks she was persuaded to say that? Now, we're all left wondering if the co-host might actually be onto something. Could there be more to this story? If he's right, it could completely shift our perspective on the WNBA and its stars. But hold on, there's more. Patrick Bet David is about to reveal his final thoughts on the whole situation, and trust me, you'll want to hear what he has to say. He started by saying,
I think somebody, Adam, she didn't change it. Somebody talked to her. Remember all the girls that were just all talking shit about her from the beginning? This was a tune change because that's how they roll.
But here's the catch. Bet David has some serious issues with what he calls woke messaging in sports. He's saying all this talk about privilege and victimhood is really turning him off. And in fact, he even went as far as saying that Clark's comments made him not want to watch any WNBA games. That's a pretty intense reaction, right? So what exactly bothers Bet David about Clark's comments? He feels that all this talk about white privilege is just distracting noise, taking away from what really matters, the game itself. He believes the WNBA should focus on being the WNBA, not getting caught up in social issues. It's almost like he's saying, hey, just play basketball and leave the politics out of it. Now, you might be wondering, what does Bet David think Clark should have said instead? Well, he's got some pretty clear ideas. He believes Clark missed a big opportunity to inspire people. Instead of talking about privilege, Bet David would like to hear Clark say something like, look, I've worked really hard, and I deserve to be here. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Bet David's not just talking about Clark. He's saying this whole victimhood mentality is a turnoff for parents like him. He can't stand these messages about being a victim. He finds them annoying and unattractive. And get this, he says he doesn't want to applaud anyone who talks that way.
I don't mind this winning. I actually want to see WNBA do well. But what she just did is exactly why I haven't watched a minute of an NBA game this year. I'm done. I'm unattracted. When NBA did the BLM thing and all the stuff in their NBA field said BLM, and they were bitching about everything that's going on, and DeSantis is a bad guy, yet you did your NBA playoffs in Orlando.
Yeah.
okay, where it's the only state that would allow you to do it, and then you want to bitch about bad policies of Florida, you